Hello, my beautiful people. Happy Monday to you. Thank you so much for joining me as we continue down the path of the Fool's Journey. Today, we are on the number 9 card, or the number 9 energy of the Hermit. Okay, a lot of people know just hermiting, just like a hermit crab. It has its shell, it can go from shell to shell, but hermiting is about going within. Okay, before we get into the detail, I'm going to show you each card as I usually do. This is the Hermit from the Light Seers Tarot. Beautiful depiction. As you can see, she's on this hill. She's somewhere just like where there's not a lot of people around. And you're also going to notice this lantern over here in the traditional, or like the Rider-Waite deck. It's an old man who is holding a lantern. He has a cloak on. The lantern is a symbol of illumination, going within to see things that you had not previously seen before. So here, there's no lantern, but there's a fire brewing. Over here, there are candles, and here in the background, there's a little bit of illumination, not depicted as much in this card. I actually learned yesterday that the lamp or the lantern symbolizes the elements. The base of the lantern symbolizes pentacles or earth energy, feeling grounded. The oil of the lamp represents the fluid or the water energy of the lamp. The actual wick, the flame that holds the wick that holds the flame, represents the fire energy. And then the glass piece that encompasses the wick, it represents the air energy. So you have all four elements there. It's completion through clarity and through understanding. The second card here is the Everyday Witch Tarot. And as you can see, this witch is in the forest away from everybody. Like, it looks like she's deep in the forest and she's by herself except for her familiars. You have the owl up there, and the owl is a symbol of wisdom, of knowledge, inner knowledge, self-reflection. Then you also have her familiar, the black cat, over here, as well as her besom, which is a witch's broom, in her hat. So it also speaks about going within to learn about the occult, about the metaphysical, about the hidden, the things that we don't see or are not readily offered as far as knowledge. This is deeper knowledge through meditation and contemplation. As you can see, her eyes are closed, and she's also by herself. Notice that each one of these women are by themselves. This is not two people. They're by themselves. They're withdrawing from the world for a little bit. And the Book of Shadows, So Below deck. I love this illustration. It's this woman, she's giving herself self-care, because to be in spiritual solitude is a form of self-care. She has her bath going, she has her candles lit. I'm sure she got some aromatherapy, somewhere in this room, or she put some herbs in that tub. I'm just sure of it. But she's also reading books. She also has a journal here in case she comes up with any thoughts while she's in the bathtub. She's reading books on knowledge that she has not previously known. So she's educating herself, but she's also taking a minute to withdraw from the world to take care of herself. And in this deck, in the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck, it's actually called Solitude. And in her period of solitude, what is she doing? She's reading, she's educating herself, she's elevating herself, she's going through spiritual awakening, so she's trying to find some clues to that. The number 9 is a number of completion. So usually before something big happens, or you launch a new project or a new cycle in your life, a new relationship, if you're becoming a parent, if you're starting a business, whatever it is, right before you're able to accomplish what it is, you usually go within. You usually, okay, what am I doing? What did I learn? How am I going to proceed forward? You have to withdraw from society a little bit. Everybody will go through this point in their spiritual journey where you have to and it doesn't mean it's going to be permanent, right? Some people get scared. If I go into this cave, I might stay here forever. That's because you're going to enjoy your solitude a lot, and some people are afraid, like, if I get in here, I might stay in here. But this is telling your friends you can't go out this weekend or this week or this month because you're focusing on yourself. This is cutting off social media for a little while. This is withdrawing from celebrity culture for a little while. This is turning off the news and it's fear mongering for a little while. It's allowing you to teach yourself how to get guidance from within. So this is a card of meditation, of consulting your higher self, of consulting your angels and your ancestors and your ascended masters and God. This is going within to find the answers that way. Not only does the lantern and the fire and the flames of the candles symbolize illumination, but it also symbolizes destruction, because fire is the element of destruction, is the element of breaking things down. So this is when you are releasing the things that are no longer serving you, because if you're going in the cave, you want to leave those things behind in the cave before you exit on the other side. So this is about destroying, because you realize that you're about to enter into a new cycle, a new path, a new chapter of your life. And you realize that there are things now, because you have the education, because you have enlightened yourself, because you have educated yourself, you say, I'm not going to bring this certain thing with me, whether it's a person, whether it's doubt, whether it's fear, whether it's limitations, whether it's self-sabotaging actions, whatever it is, you say, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I see the light for what it is, and I'm going to follow this light into a brighter pasture, into a brighter place. So everyone, no one is immune to this. Some people, but everyone's period of spiritual solitude is going to be differently. People who are on a more spiritual path, if you're meant to be a sage, a wisdom keeper, a high priestess, a healer, a spiritual teacher, your periods are going to be a little longer, okay? Because you have a little more information to be downloaded, to be taken with you. If those are naturopaths, and that's absolutely fine, then these may be a little shorter periods where you're just going to check in with yourself before you move forward or before you move to your next thing. So don't see this, because realize that being alone and being lonely are two separate things. This is absolutely necessary. Being a hermit is a declaration of self-love. It is the rest that you take instead of quitting, because some people get to this place because they feel like they're going to quit. And you never quit. You just take a rest. You go within. You take the time, okay? You think about it. You think about it some more. And when you're ready, your spirit will tell you that you're ready. And then you will be able to move forward, because you are, again, acquiring knowledge during this period. So I'm just going to pull a card. What's funny is when I started shuffling these cards, I saw the Hermit again, right? So it came out for the fifth time. But I'm going to just shuffle these cards and tell you what Spirit has to tell some additional information that Spirit has for those who are going through this hermiting period of their life, okay? So Spirit, please give us some guidance for those in this energy of the Hermit. What further or additional messages do you have for these people who are watching this video? And remember, this is a timeless message, so whenever it is that you see this message is meant for you, okay? What message do we have for the hermits out there right now? Oops, excuse me, I'm hitting my camera. Let's see, it is, oh, look at that. The Hanged Man, okay? The Hanged Man is a card of perspective, but I also like, because you see that the Hanged Man is in the woods, like she's in the woods. This is for those who are trying to rush through their period of solitude. And put this right here. Hold on. There we go. This is for those who are trying to rush through their period of solitude. It's telling you, pump your brakes, shorty. Because if you're in it and you're like, I'm so sick of being lonely. Everybody who's like, I think I've been in solitude for quite some time. I'm ready to be out. You will be, okay? Because the Hangman can absolutely free himself. And this card, you see, his hands are just behind his back, right? But they're not tied up behind his back. They're just behind his back. So when he wants to take them and put them in front and reach up and untie this knot, he absolutely can. In the Everyday Witch Tarot, the Hangman is depicted as having chains and a padlock that's hanging him, and he has his hands together, but in his hands is the key, which means that when he's ready, all he has to do is take the key and unlock the padlock, right? So this is telling you it is up to you, but don't rush the process. Trust the process. Because with the moon in this card, it's speaking about there's still illusions, especially if this message is resonating with you. You want to get out of the spiritual solitude. You want to get into a relationship. You want to start that business. You want to move across state. You want to, get that new job, right? But if you're not ready for those new things in your life, you want to have a baby. If the surrounding circumstances don't support what it is that you want, it's very likely going to fall apart in the early phases of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You still have some work to do. And I can hear you. I've done the work. Like, I can hear you guys say, I've done it. Like, how much more work do I have to do? You still have some work to do. There's still some deeper layers. So for instance, if you're trying to get in a new relationship and you've already worked on like personal issues, maybe codependency, maybe lack of self-love, and you're like, I've done that, I love myself, there may be some inner child work that is still necessary. You may need to dig deeper to strike the oil that you're looking for. And when the time comes, you will get a clear indication that it is time for you to move forward. This is a message to those, if you have not gotten a clear indication from your higher self that it's time for you to move forward, then it is not time. There's what you want. I'm hearing there's what you want, because this is about perspective. And then there's what God wants for you, or your higher self wants for you. There's a different timeline here, and that's the illusion that you're living under, okay? Time is a man-made construct, and those in the cosmos, they, for a year for us is a long time. For them, it's a blink of the eye. And so it is about timing here. As you can see, the hangman, there's stuff falling out of his pockets, they're around his head. You're still in a phase where you're releasing and you're healing. And it takes the time, because if you were in like a family and you suffered neglect or abuse or something like that, and you lived in that household till you were 18 years old, and you went through all that crap from the time you were a child till you were 18 years old when you moved out on your own. If you've been trying to heal for the last 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, or even a year, that may not be enough to undo 18 years of trauma. All right? It takes some time, and I'm not going to say it's going to take 18 years for you to heal. That's not the case, but it's going to take some time, okay? It doesn't mean that you're incomplete, that you're not whole, but it means that more work needs to be done. And you will know, okay? The perfect opportunity to leave this phase will present itself when it is time, but it's saying to change your perspective. Rather than thinking you're stuck in solitude, know that when you're ready, you can absolutely free yourself, but give yourself time to be ready. Change your perspective. The hangman needs to change his perspective. So he's not seeing himself as hanging upside down, but he's seeing himself as being in charge. And when he's ready to stand on his own 2 feet, he can absolutely do that. So change yourself from a victim mentality to one of that is empowered, and it will greatly help you while navigating this chapter that you are hermiting. All right, so these are the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you for the next message. Peace.